Weapon debate. This is where we debate a weapon's fate, talk about it, see what the strengths are, see what the weaknesses are, and we give our judgment at the end what we think should happen with it. Let's have a go. The lock and load.
Probably one of the worst weapons right now.
Not just the worst. I mean, the balance changes that this thing had is just laughable. I mean,
you kill pretty much any class in 2 shots. Now it takes about 3 or 4. It's like bollocks.
I usually killed everything.
It used to be 1 shot.
Yeah, 1 shot.
Depending on the class, but if it was a heavy, it used to take about 2.
Okay.
It depends on how close you are. In any case, the history. It started out as the nightmare of anybody that can skill shot with this thing. I mean, the damage it has right now is just... It's so dumb. Why make this a building exclusive weapon? That is so stupid to do. I don't believe that anybody looked at this and thought it was okay.
It still does some decent damage in my part.
True, but
it does 100 on a direct hit, but you cripple yourself by making every shot you do a skill shot. You need to do a skill shot.
But
or
what
else
if you have a
don't
sticky
get
launcher?
shit.
Wouldn't that be like more useful?
Well,
like
if you
just
shoot at a surface, the grenade shatters. No damage, no explosion, no nothing. It travels faster, it has 1 less grenade, and it does increased damage to buildings.
Oh,
okay, first of all, who the fuck cares about extra damage to buildings?
Like, what if there's like a big server with sentries everywhere?
Well, then get your sticky bomb launcher out, Uber medic, and done. Lock and load's not going to change a thing. It is just such an occasional weapon. I cannot find myself using this thing.
Because by the time you fire off 1 pill, the engineers are already going to finish rebuilding it. By the time you fire off like 2 or 3 stickies, it's just going to die.
Yeah, it's going to be a 1 explosion to immediately shatter it completely instead of bursts of damage. I mean, right now, it doesn't even do extra damage. Why do the grenades still shatter? I think I would use this weapon more often if the grenades didn't shatter on surfaces.
Maybe
also,
maybe a slight damage penalty on that though, because of the projectile speed. So like a 10%. That's not a lot.
I don't know. The projectile speed doesn't seem that horrifyingly high.
You gotta admit though, on the weapon, the cosmetics look quite nice. They're good.
The cosmetic looks nice. The only thing that bugs me is 3 grenades go in, but there's only room for 2, and he sticks them in the same slot. That's a little nitpick. I'm not gonna seriously go and say, hey, this needs to be changed, but it's a nitpick.
They could make a completely new weapon that fires 3 grenades, like change the design slightly.
Yeah.
But have that as a new weapon and just put the lock and load back as it was.
Well, not back as it was. Obviously, there needs to be a risk versus reward situation here. But the thing is, the lock and load right now is more risk and less reward. Okay, you can land those skill shots. You can hit folks directly. But a grenade launcher will do the same damn thing, but not travel as far, which is the only thing it has going for it. It travels far.
Yeah. On teams with demos, I used to see about 3 or 4 of them using a lock and load. Now I see about 1. They mostly just use either the basic stock or they're going demo 9.
What if they just switch them, like split up into 2, like they do it with the escape plan?
Then what would it do? As soon as you pop it out, you get mini crits when you use it.
Maybe just like what is it? Like 1 does damage and 1 does damage to buildings.
I'm not sure. The lock and load, it had a good in between when it didn't one-shot scouts and spies anymore, and snipers and engineers and who cares what else, but it could still 2-shot them. And the grenade shatter on surface, I think, is a nice thing. It can be used nicely, but
But wasn't the like, isn't it just wasn't it like high risk, high reward because you're high risk, you gotta hit them directly.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the risk versus reward that I'm suffering from. Because I shoot it right now, it shatters. No damage, no explosion, no nothing. You get shit all. But the explosion damage is the same as a grenade launcher. So I'd rather have the risk of me missing the grenade but still having a tiny explosion on the ground
Yeah.
than have nothing at all. Just for this projectile speed, I just don't see this weapon ever being viable anymore if it's like this.
Because I'm shooting at the enemy team. If it was the basic grenade launcher, I'd have at least had 2 or 3 kills now. But because of the shatter, I get nothing.
Yeah,
You
it's
have to be so accurate with this thing. It's unreal. There, I got 1. But
yeah, it's a weapon that you specifically use when you're experienced with the game. You're experienced with the grenade launcher and you know how to land these shots. That's when you use that thing. Ah shit, I'm using the sticky launcher. Got distracted again.
that's why I grabbed
Yeah,
the shield instead.
This weapon, here, there we go. I two-shot a freaking dispenser. The
I
grenade
just-
launcher does the same damn thing.
I just shot a scout at close range. Yet nothing. I didn't kill him. He's still breathing, which is annoying. I can remember the time where if I ever saw someone with a lock and load coming, I used to run away. But now I just feel like it's not really a threat. I just feel like it's more of a annoyance.
Well, the projectile
think
speed
it's
is the
just like
only
a-
thing it has going for it. Other than that, I won't ever use this thing.
I'm just gonna say this is gonna be I'm gonna have to put this in my engineer buster loadouts from now on. Like we know that update the engineer versus spy update is gonna come. So why don't we just wait for that? Maybe the engineer is gonna get something overpowered and the lock and load's gonna be the one.
Yeah, but it's going to be overpowered, then it's immediately going to get nerfed in some way.
But yeah, but still.
Well, the first lock and load obviously had problems. The power was just too much. I admit, it was too much. But just take away the power to one-shot the weaker classes, and I think it's good to go. I mean, honestly, if it had a damage buff against players that was lethal, I'd say, okay, have the grenade shatter on surface, sure. But instead of having them splatter on a surface, no damage, how about a tiny explosion? Just a tiny explosion with
Even if it-
decreased damage because you're not directly
Like the
hit.
iron bomber.
It's like 50% less damage. I mean, it's something to go on.
True. But at least give us something. I mean, now we're being punished for using a gimmicky weapon that doesn't know what it
Yeah.
wants to be. I mean, the buff that made it good was taken away. And then the downside that made it bad is still here.
Yeah.
We haven't gained anything. What have we gained out of this? A sentry buster, basically. A mini sentry buster that takes 2 shots.
It used to be one shot with most buildings before the increase in damage for buildings. It used to still be one shot, but now it's 2.
Well,
Uh,
it just really bugs me.
yeah.
It
I
just
used to-
bugs me how Valve made a weapon that apparently is too much of a challenge for them to balance because they just gave up. They just made this thing useless, and
if
now
you could have balanced it?
I think you use it now to shoot players. Either your accuracy is spot on, or
Or
you're
you're
just
just
making a fool
shit.
out of yourself.
Or it's just sheer luck you're actually getting a hit.
I'd say Valve just needs to rethink this weapon entirely. Take away any buffs it had, take away any downsides it had, and see what you can do with it.
Maybe let like the community vote for it. Like
That would be a good idea.
how to change it. Like
Yeah, how would competitive want to see this weapon? I mean, make it useful, it's still viable. Don't make it overpowered. The community should know best. I mean, have people that play Demo Man rate it? Have people that don't play Demo Man
You're our
rate it?
main demo man, so what do you think this thing should have?
I think it should have a tiny explosion on point, which does decreased damage from a direct hit.
How about slowness?
What?
How about slowness? You know, easier to hit them.
In order to balance that out, you gotta make the explosion stronger.
Maybe have like increased damage, but as a penalty, you go slightly slower.
That's already on a melee weapon. I don't think a ranged weapon should punish your speed like that.
Yeah, personally, I play Pyro more than I play any other class. But
Are you frightened of the old lock and load?
the old one, yes, absolutely, because it was a pain in the arse trying to reflect the grenades because they moved too fast. But now with this one, it's just not as threatening. It's still dangerous, because every gun is dangerous, but now it's easier to kill the class using it than... Got 'em. But yeah, to get all them kills I've just got, I need to use my my sticky launcher, because my
Damn it, Travi.
grenades wouldn't cut it.
Well, obviously, it's good to have an arsenal of weapons instead of depending on one. Which is why I want to use the lock and load. The weapon is not the worst in the world, but
Yeah, there have been many
I
others.
just never feel like I can use this thing. The lock and load is never a go-to weapon for me. That I feel like, yeah, I can use this.
Yeah.
No, I don't. I used to use this thing on Wave 666 a whole lot.
Yeah.
Because I thought it was awesome. I thought the projectile, the way it was designed, the damage buff, the thing you trade in for it, it was cleverly designed. I liked it. But now, no. I don't ever want to use this thing again.
Yeah.
Ever.
I'm just gonna only use this gun for if there's like some like whole lot of sentries in
Yeah,
the server. Just
if there's
camp.
basically an entire team as engineers, then use it. But
Yeah.
against the people we're currently fighting, it's not really doing much. We mostly have to switch to either our secondary or our melee to actually kill them.
Yeah.
So, our final verdict.
Oh,
Scrap it,
boys.
nerf it, or buff it.
Buff it.
They're gonna scrap it.
I vote for it. Yeah, they're
If
probably
we
going to
know
scrap
Valve,
it.
they're gonna scrap it.
Yeah. But frankly, they should buff it, make it better. Because it used to be brilliant. Because I can deal with the grenade shattering and you like taking slightly more damage from them. Because it gave you more damage. But now it's just, you still got that damage increase that does more damage to you. But you don't have any of the other good buffs.
So, Phantom, your verdict. Buff it, nerf it, or scrap it?
Knowing Valve, I think they're gonna scrap it, but
No, you. What would you do?
if I can't make it any better, like balanced, I'm gonna have to scrap it.
Okay.
Like, I'm just thinking of logic here. If it can't be balanced, just scrap it.
My final verdict is buff it.
Yeah, buff it.
Well, guys, this has been our first debate on a weapon. Leave your thoughts below. If you want to add something to this, just leave a comment and we'll talk about it and maybe even put that in a vid if it's worthy of being talked about.
Yeah.
This is us signing out. Reese,
Peace.
any last words?
Peace out. And burn all the bitches.
Have fun.
See y'all later.
You know him?